All right, everybody, welcome back, and we are at it again. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Riffin with Griffin, baby.
What's up, y'all? Lot to talk about today. Here on Riffin with Griffin. Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson, out at CNN, out at Fox. Let's talk about it. Found some interesting Instagram posts that people have sent me. Want to get into that? NBA is just like, it's actually making me re-fall in love with the NBA. This playoffs have been fantastic. Couple more news and notes, but it's overall, it's all me, baby. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Woo, my voice is terrible. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. Oh, what? Come on, shut up. That came on again. Anyway, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. Sorry, my voice has just been crackling recently. I think I'm allergic to something, man. I got to have the people come check the AC filters, you know. But anyways, whatever. Welcome back to Riffin with Griffin, y'all. This is Riffin with Griffin every Wednesday. This is me, Erik Griffin, comedy podcast. Sometimes it's comedy, sometimes it's news, sometimes I'm serious, sometimes I'm not, but I'm always 100% me. So if you've been here before, you know what to expect. If you're someone new, welcome, welcome. We're in for just, I'm doing it off the cuff. It's live, and here we are. So thanks for being here. So Riffin with Griffin, go to ericgriffin.com for all things Erik Griffin. Please subscribe. Hit the notifications button so you know when I go live. Sometime on Wednesday morning, I'm trying to go live. Like I'm trying to be more consistent and be at 10 a.m., but sometimes, life gets in the way. I'm on Twitch most days. I'm going to be on Twitch later today, so you can check me out. Erik Griffin Gaming on Twitch, and I have Erik Griffin Gaming on YouTube. You can see all some of my older videos. You can support me in so many ways. You could be a member. You could be a Twitch sub. You could be a Patreon person if you want to support, and I appreciate that. All right? I do appreciate that. Let's see. I'm at the mothership this weekend. Really looking forward to that, I'm at the mothership this weekend. Let's see what some shows I have coming up if you want to check that out, Let's see on my crazy website. I already did the Blue Room. That's done. Louisville Comedy Club this past weekend was great. So I'm at the Comedy Mothership, but according to the website, all the shows are sold out. So, yeah, baby. Really nothing in May. I got to get I have a couple more dates and stuff coming up, but for now, this is what it's looking like right now. So look out for that in the future. ericgriffin.com if you want to come. Check me out live. I am hilarious. I'm just telling you that right now. I am hilarious. So what happened this week? Okay, so Crackers update, if you know from last week's episode, they are still in the living room, okay? They are still in the living room. Rachel has not moved the crackers. So we'll just keep you updated on how many weeks those crackers are going to be sitting on that table in the living room. It's like that's just what happens in relationships, But anyways, let's just get into some comments. A lot of people had some comments from last week's episode. Let's see here. Let's see. Darcy Bennett. Oh, people love commenting on my Matt Rife episode. She goes, I know this is old, but the thing about LA chicks is still true to this day. Certain age range, but true. I live there. I'm older. LOL. I don't even know what that even refers to. Maverick Miller, rap recap with straight gas with 3 fire emojis. Thank you. MRD1228 said, do you agree that if the NBA would play less games, that we'd be more interested from fans, and also less injuries in the playoffs, finals, also playing 3 instead of 7. We can tell who the best team is from best of 3 instead of dragging it out so long. I think I don't know. I think that the play style of this modern era of basketball, it's so much more open and running up and down the court that it's going to be hard to not get injuries the way they're playing. I mean, it's not natural to play a professional sport 3-4 times a week. To do that to your body, it's going to be, and especially if these guys aren't being professional. That's what we're starting to see, is like that you really have to take care of your body. Like LeBron James is showing you the way. LeBron is like, look, I'm 38 years old, but I spent a lot of money on my body so people could come watch me play so I could continue to play for 20 years. What's going to have to happen is the players are going to have to take it way more serious because of the play style. And the NBA should consider, changing. Maybe they, have less games. But, it's all about money. And I like the 7-game series in the playoffs. Let's find out who the best are. So, I don't mind a good 7-game series. I mean, the NBA playoffs is a whole other season of a sport, and I like it a lot. Amanda Howell, Eric, you're the best. I love those kind of comments. Thank you. Let's see. So Jessica Riano, because I think it's double L is a Y. I don't know. I'm terrible. So remember the whole thing about, I was asking people about, like, because Rachel and I are both messy. So she says, husband and I both are neat freaks, but I'm a bit more OCD. Our version of your cracker problem are the bath towels. If I don't change them out, we would use the same dirty towels for his entire life. I mean, yeah. Rachel, about that kind of stuff, she is like that. She will change the sheets, the towels, all that kind of stuff. She makes sure. I use a towel once and she'll grab it and put it in the thing, and I'm like, where's my towel? You know what I mean? She especially will only use a towel once. So that's interesting. Let's just see if we can get some more comments in. Let's see. John Redden, love your movie TV reviews. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you. Eric Flores, I've always been the messy one until I hooked up with my girl. She is worse than me, and it forced me to be the clean one. Yeah. I know what you know what? I'm in the same situation. Like, I hate washing dishes and all that, but I have to do it. You know what I mean? Because if I don't do it. Here's another one. Steve Beck. We are both clean freaks. There are times that I lack and she picks up the slack, and vice versa. When we both are in the clean mode, watch out. That's yeah. I guess Rachel and I are like that too. Like one day I was like, okay, I got to clean the bathroom. Then I cleaned the bathroom, and the next thing you know, she cleaned. So it's like I triggered her to clean. But anyways, guys, thanks for the comments. Thanks for interacting. Continue to do that. Thanks for everybody that's watching live right now on YouTube. Thanks for everybody that's listening later on all the platforms that you listen to. I appreciate all of that. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, let's just get right into some NBA talk real quick. NBA playoffs are just really, you know what? If you've been listening to my podcast, you know that I've just kind of been sort of like disenchanted with the NBA recently. But I got to say, I like it, even though there's some nonsense that's going on. My Clippers. I'm a Clipper fan, and I'm really disappointed. Actually, the Clippers are cursed, man. If you go back to even when Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan were there, and we never got a chance to even make a finals appearance, even though we had the team to do it. Chris Paul in his prime, Blake Griffin in his prime, DeAndre Jordan in his prime, J.J. Redick on a shooting. We had Matt Barnes. I mean, we had the team to do it, but it was always something. Chris Paul getting hurt, Blake Griffin getting hurt, or choking in a game up 3-1. It just always was something with the Clippers. But the injuries have plagued us for years. So now you got this. We get Kawhi Leonard coming off a championship, and we think, wow, this guy, he's already won 2 championships with 2 other franchises. And we think, oh, this is going to be it. Kawhi Leonard's going to do it. This dude's always hurt. Like, always hurt when it counts. Paul George, another one. Just always hurt. Every chance he gets, he gonna get hurt. It's like, oh, does it matter right now? Yeah, boom. His body lets him down. It's really a shame. I really feel sorry for these two guys. I feel sorry for the Clipper fan base. You know, I know they're not faking them. It's just one of those things. I mean, playing sports is tough at such a high level. And, you know, especially when I think the greater the player is, the more chance they are to get hurt because they're playing at such a great level and they're doing like this superhuman type stuff and their bodies really can't handle it. From all reports, Kawhi Leonard takes care of his body and works really hard. He just has zero personality, you know? And it sucks to find out that his sister murdered somebody and just got sentenced the other day. No, I didn't even know that. And, you know, he probably distanced himself from his sister. He's like, yeah, you know, that sucks. You know, it sucks that says a lot about what's going on in their family. You know, that they're obviously they're not close. Because, like, if you close with your sister, you know, you taking care of her. She don't got to rob a casino in Temecula and kill someone, right? So they obviously haven't had a relationship in a long time. And then, you know, you have everybody judging him based off like, what? That's your family, man. But it's not his fault. You know what I mean? Sometimes family are the worst. You don't get to pick your family. You get to pick your friends. Always remember that. Sometimes family ain't shit. So anyways, so I feel bad for my Clippers, you know. And I think that even with just Kawhi Leonard or just Paul George, they would have beat the Suns. All right, so then that's just crazy. So then, you know, you got the Suns. You know, you got the Suns. You got Kevin Durant. You think, all right, Kevin Durant's doing it. But I got to say, man, with Kevin Durant's presence on the court and what he's doing, it's making Devin Booker shine. If they go all the way, Devin Booker's going to be the MVP. He's going to be the finals MVP because he is balling. Okay? So, but they don't have enough. They have a 6-man rotation. That's not going to be good against these other teams. I think Denver's going to beat them. You know, I picked the Clippers to beat the Suns, and I believe that they would have beat them if Kawhi Leonard was healthy. I mean, it's terrible. And I feel bad for Russell Westbrook, another one. So, anyways, NBA playoffs are heating up. You know, you got Denver. You got this great series with Sacramento and Golden State. De'Aaron Fox is injured, but I think he's still going to play tonight. So we'll see how that goes. That's a great series. I think whoever wins tonight wins the series. You can't count the champs out. I think Sacramento has a better team, but you just can't, you know, the heart of a champion, right? You know, Steph Curry, who knows? I would not be surprised if either team won. If the number 3 seed won, I'm not going to be surprised. If the reigning champs win, I'm not going to be surprised. So we'll see what happens. Great series, man. De'Aaron Fox is turning into a bona fide star, and it's about time everybody recognized that. What else? All right, Lakers. Look, man, I can't say enough about LeBron James. What a professional athlete this guy is. 20 years in the league, 38, almost 39 years old, and there are times on the court where he is the best player in the league, the way he's playing in these moments. He should be an example to every professional athlete. Him and Tom Brady, all those people that can play late. And he spends money on his body because he's like, this is my job. My job is to be in shape and ready to go. Kudos to him. What a series he's having. They're up 3-1. I think the Lakers should go on. And we'll see what happens in the next series. I think they have a size and physicality advantage on both the Kings and the Warriors. So we'll see what happens. The dude had 20-something points and 20 rebounds, man. 20 rebounds. And then in the last game, and then Dylan Brooks. Let's talk about Dylan Brooks. The dude that runs his mouth, and I like to poke bears, he said, right? He likes to poke bears. Well, he got poked back. He got demolished, okay? He was nowhere to be found. You know, in the game after talking smack, he punches LeBron in the balls. Even if it was by accident, he had to get thrown out. He wasn't having a good game. He's shooting 3 for whatever. And then in this game, they have a chance to win the game. They just need to stop. LeBron takes him to the rack and won. And then the guy that runs his mouth constantly doesn't want to talk to the press. He just exits. He doesn't want to talk to the press. What's that, man? You know what? You made it fun. You talking smack. You poking the bear. Own it. Come out and be like, all right, the old man got me. Old man got me, but we coming back. Say something, man. Just to like punk out like that. Man. Now on the eastern side, last night, Trae Young did some Trae Young things. Murray was out. I thought the Celtics for sure were going to end this series, and they didn't. And this is what my issue is with the Celtics. This coach does not have experience in this situation, and it's going to show. The Celtics need Ime Udoka, I think, would have been a better voice for them going into this year, but you all know what happened with that. This coach is not ready for this situation, I think, and I think the Celtics are going to go down. Not to the Hawks. I think the Hawks, they're going to beat the Hawks. Trae Young just did some Trae Young things last night. It was great. Great game. This dude accounted for almost 80 points of their score with assists and his own scoring. The dude's fantastic. He had a fantastic game. He rose to the occasion in the playoffs. Celtics, I believe, are going to win this series. Okay? And then you got Jimmy Butler, the Heat versus the number 1 seed, the Bucks. Giannis got hurt. I don't think they're going to recover. I don't think Giannis is 100%, and I don't want to see him in the playoffs anymore. I'll wait till next year. It's not going to happen this year for the Bucks. There's no way that if he's injured, he's going to be able to recover when they're going to be playing every other day for the next 5 weeks or however long the playoffs. So I don't want a 80% Giannis. I want 100% Giannis. So get him out. I think Miami's going to win this series. They're up 3-1. Jimmy Butler goes for 56 points on them. Okay? 56. The next closest player on the Heat had 15 points. Like, just stop this one guy, they win. I'm done with the Bucks. And that means with the Bucks out, okay, Miami going on, then they're going to play probably the Knicks because the Knicks are beating Cleveland. Cleveland's choking. So the Knicks, Miami, I think the Knicks can beat Miami. I think you're going to see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Sixers. I think the Sixers are going to be the team that's going to come out of the East because everybody else is too compromised and can't be trusted. I think the Sixers can be trusted. Joel Embiid went down, and they still came and won that game. James Harden stepped up. I think James Harden has a lot to prove. I think Joel Embiid is going to win the MVP, and so then he's going to come out and be like, this is going to be their year, finally. I think they're going to get over the hump. Doc Rivers is going to get over the hump. And I think this is going to be it for I think the Sixers go to the championship. That's my prediction. But, I could be wrong. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's my NBA talk. That's my NBA talk. Thanks for being here for the NBA talk. Okay? All right, guys. Let's get into some big news. Big news. This is big news. Big news for big people, man. Big news for big people. Let's see, is this going to work? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, wait, I have to turn this off. There we go. All right. Yeah, baby. Look at those two guys. Probably the two of the most polarizing guys in news. So this past week, shocking development. Here's my nasal spray. You guys mind if I do my allergy nasal spray? All right, there we go. Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon out. They're out. Can you believe this? Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon out. So I don't know the whole story. I just like talking about stuff. So I have it up here on my screen here. So here's first of all, let's go to Don Lemon first. I think Don Lemon just is like, he's talking about things. Wait, hold on a second. Sorry. Don Lemon's talking about things that you're not supposed to talk about on the news. It's too nuanced, right? Like you can have a nuanced discussion about things, but that don't mean it's meant for the news. It's not meant for TV. When your network has an agenda, okay? So this is a very liberal news organization that they're out here with that left agenda, and it's like everything that's going on, cancel culture, everything with that. They're on that side, and he has to toe the company line. And I just feel like he got to a point where he was just like feeling himself. What happens is these guys think they're bigger than the networks themselves. They think that they are like, okay, my ratings are so high or whatever, and now I can say, yeah, you can't do that. So one of the things he wrote that he was stunned, but one of the big things that he got in trouble for was he was talking about what was he? He was talking about some lady, right? And she said she was past her prime, was not in her prime. About Republican Nikki Haley, 51, was not in her prime. Now listen, I don't know what he was talking about. That's it becomes a sensitive issue. You can infer what you think he's talking about, but let me just say this. If we were talking about athletes, okay, if I was talking about Aaron Rodgers and I said, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is past his prime, is that an insult? Is it an insult? No, it's not. In that situation, what I'm talking about is this guy is not at his athletic height anymore. Still great player, still good, but he is past his prime, okay? You can say that. No issues. What was he talking about? He didn't clarify. Is he saying she's past her political prime? Is she past the time when it was time, she would have been better off running 5 years ago, 10 years ago because of A, B, and C factors? He didn't clarify anything. He just said this. And then what happens is people run with this. And now they make it about what? About her being an older woman. And now it just becomes about that. So, you know what I mean? So it's just, I'm 51. You know what I'm saying? So I get he deserves this criticism because it's a statement that needs to be unpacked and clarified. There's nothing wrong. Like if he's talking about her political prime, he could be right. But what was he talking about? And so he just seems to me have gotten a little lazy, And then it was that comment, and then he was talking about the women's soccer. It was like, well, the men's soccer is more interesting. That's a comment you could believe that you don't need to say on air. Okay? Right now it's too polarizing. It's too politically charged. It's too socially charged to talk about that, even if you believe that. I don't mind even saying like I don't agree with him in the soccer. I believe it was like the soccer when he was talking about the soccer teams, but I don't necessarily believe that in soccer. I think women's soccer is very entertaining, but I believe that with WNBA basketball. I think the NBA basketball is 1,000 times better than the WNBA. Aesthetically, I'm talking about how the game looks. And it's already proven teams that have won multiple championships in the WNBA, the teams have gone out of business. There's reports that the WNBA loses money every single year. Okay, so say whatever you want, okay? This ain't a thing about women. This is about a product. It has not proven to be a profitable product, okay? But again, do you say that on air? That's just one of those things that you have to just let go. It's one of those things that we all know, but we just not going to talk about it, because there's a greater good here about encouraging young girls to play sports, encouraging people to support women and what they do. So there's like a grander thing here, and that's what CNN represents. That's what they, trying to do. So for him saying that, sort of undermining that, this is the thing you talk about on podcasts, You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're one of the lead anchors on a major news network, do you say flippant comments without following it up with some, a nuanced discussion? So. And then, this he's getting in trouble for a bunch of things, apparently, But basically, they're calling him a misogynist and all this. And so now he's out. So that's what happened with Don Lemon. And then you got our boy Tucker Carlson, man. Tucker. I think the most polarizing news figure since Bill O'Reilly, who got ousted, right? These people all when you get high ratings, you start feeling yourself. You start saying things. So I don't watch Fox News. I don't like Hannity and these kinds of things because to me, I don't like CNN either, by the way. I don't like Rachel Maddow. I don't like Don Lemon. I don't like any sort of debate news thing because this isn't the news. They're not reporting the news. They're commenting on the news. And they're sitting at a news table as if they're news reporters. And it's like, yo, this isn't the news. This is y'all, talking heads. That's basically a podcast, what they're doing, what they've been doing for years. The news is different. When they hit the news, they're reporting things that are going on, not commenting on things. They're just telling us what's going on. I like the news portions of both those networks. But this is ridiculous. Like, these people are the things that people watch. And, they're speaking to their base. They're not challenging their base. They're just going on. And I think both Tucker and Don Lemon were kind of like, well, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. Feeling themselves. But at the same time, if you're a Tucker Carlson fan, and I know that there's people that watch podcasts, you might be a Tucker Carlson fan. I'm not anti-Tucker Carlson, okay? I think that he has been irresponsible in some of the things that he says, but now I'm starting to realize this has more to do with CNN and Fox than it has to do with these two men. Like, they should start a podcast. Like, they should get together. That'd be great. Don and Tucker. They did a podcast. Oh, my God. That'd be huge. But anyways. So what happened with Tucker Carlson? All right. Like I said, this dude's a polarizing figure, man. So they got, Fox was pushing this whole thing that the election was a fraud. They're talking about these software companies that make the election things, and they said some disparaging things about them, and it caused issues, These companies were like, yo, we are above reproach, bro, and we're suing. So they sued Fox. Two companies are suing Fox. In the discovery of suing Fox, their text messages and correspondences with each other about this stuff, they had to give it up. And wow. All the text messages from the different Fox people, and you starting to go, oh, wow, what's really going on? Man, Tucker Carlson. Now, here's what I have to feel about Tucker now. I've always thought this about conservative radio hosts, conservative TV personalities. There's so much money in it. I remember Glenn Beck. Like, I should go to the Forbes. Let me go to this list right here real quick because I remember this. Let me see. Let me go. Forbes News Anchor list. Okay. Let's see. This is the under 30. Okay. Anyways. I remember Glenn Beck was on this list. And remember, Glenn Beck was considered a crazy person. He was just so right-wing, and he was pushing this agenda. And then I was like, damn, why is he? I was like, I wonder, does he really believe this stuff, right? Then you look at the Forbes list, and at the time, he was making $75 million. And I was like, for $75 million a year, I'll bash Obama. You know what I mean? Like, how many of us could keep our personal integrity when that much money is on the line? When you have a network, when you have sponsors, when you have things who are telling you, yeah, fire up the base because it leads to $75 million, man, I don't know. I don't know any of you that would not do what these people are doing. And I think Tucker was right in there. I think that if you're a fan of Tucker Carlson, let's say 80% of the time, has subjects on his show that speak to you, especially like with the trans issues, transgender issues, or toxic masculinity, how he's sticking up for men, or if you believe in conservative issues, he might be your voice. There might be, it's not all crazy, right? He might be your voice and you're like, man, that guy speaks for me. And I get that. But then, and if you're a Trump supporter too, and I know that there are a lot of Trump supporters out there, more power to you. I'm no comment on that. If you think that it is better to have all of the baggage that it comes with, and you still think with that baggage, I still rather have this conservative person. Okay, if you think Trump did great, fine. And then you had Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity, and these guys are pushing that, and you think, all right, Tucker's on our side. And then these text messages come out. Man, it says a lot. Let's see. I have the text messages right here. He's talking about Trump. This is his own text messages. I hate him passionately. We're all pretending we've got a lot to show for it because admitting what a disaster it's been is too tough to digest. But come on, there really isn't an upside to Trump. What? Man, like, if you're a Trump supporter and you're a Tucker Carlson supporter, how can you see that text and not feel lied to and not feel like, oh, wow, that this is like, this just makes me disenchanted even more with the news. So you're telling me that this guy is on air spewing stuff and then secretly behind the scenes, he's like, yeah, I don't really like this guy. Where's the integrity in that? You know what I mean? Where's the integrity in that, man? It's like, if you're a staunch Trump supporter, you should feel lied to. You should feel like, oh man, so you're just saying what I want to hear. But that's fine too. I think Tucker Carlson is a scapegoat. So anyways, listen, he gets the lawsuit from the voting machine company. They get this discovery. They find these texts. Fox is like, you know what? Rupert Murdoch's like, settle. They're not going to settle. They settle for almost $1 billion. Because they're like, nah, we're not giving any more information. Just settle. Another company is suing for almost $2 billion. They're going to win too. Because these people are like, you know what? Let's not give any more information. Just settle. Sorry, we messed up. We're admitting we misrepresented your companies and your software, and we're just going to settle up. And then they fire Tucker. He's a scapegoat. He's not even the problem. Fox is the problem. They allowed all this to go on. Maybe he was like, yeah, I don't know. Because maybe Tucker's behind the scenes like, why are we talking about Trump? Like maybe what's best for the country? Like what is the news supposed to be about? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it about making money or is it about really getting a honest discourse about stuff? Like you could dislike the the Democrat agenda. Let's say you're really conservative and you're like, I don't like this Democratic agenda. I understand that. Talk about it in that way. But it seems to me they were just talking about it in a way like, let's just speak to our base, please our advertisers, fire up the idiots that really aren't informed, which is most of us, and then tell people what they want to hear. And then let's keep it moving. That's what they were doing. Because behind the scenes, they're texting each other like, can't wait till this guy's out. Man, there's other text. In a text November 9th, Carlson referenced Powell's Dominion claims, commenting, the software shit is absurd. Carlson then said on television that night, we don't know anything about the software that many say was rigged. We don't know. We ought to find out. That's what led to like the lawsuit, right? Like there's so many. There was a good one. Let me find this one good one. He was calling people a cunt. I mean, he was going in, Tucker Carlson. On Trump's skipping Biden's inauguration. This is Tucker Carlson. Hard to believe. So destructive. It's disgusting. I'm trying to look away. Like, I don't know if I like him or hate him more, but I feel like I have a greater understanding from my perspective on Tucker Carlson. I feel like Tucker was just like a part of the machine, making a lot of money and being like, well, okay. And at the same time, but secretly being like, come on, Trump, what you doing, man? You know what I mean? Like, it sucks when you see somebody doing something that, like, half the time you like what they're doing. Like, you're like, all right, come on, we could do this. Let's push this conservative agenda. And then Trump will do some stuff, and he's like, ugh. And he's like, I don't want to support that. But he's like in a situation where he's in a news network where he has to. But now you know how he really felt. What does that make you feel? What does that make you feel? Like, if you're a conservative right now, I want you to comment on this. And dude, let's keep it above board, man. We don't got to be attacking each other and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, how honestly does it make you feel? If you're a conservative and you support Trump, how does it make you feel that this guy you were listening to every single night that had the highest ratings, he wasn't on the same page with you fully as you thought? What does that make you feel about Fox News? It's like, it just legitimizes everything that all the lefty comedians say about Fox News. You know, they talk about it's supposed to be fair and balanced. And it turns out these guys are behind the scenes texting each other like, we ain't shit. This dude sucks. What are we supposed to say about this? Here's another one. On the prospect of ditching Trump coverage on Fox, 2 days before the Capitol riot, Carlson wrote to a colleague, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. The day after Trump supporter, then the day after Trump supporters, he goes, Trump has 2 weeks left. Once he's out, he becomes incalculably less powerful, even in the minds of his supporters. He's a demonic force, a destroyer, but he's not going to destroy us. I've been thinking about this every day for 4 years." That's from your dude's mouth. That's from the dude that was, he's got the highest ratings on the network. Conservative people are like, yeah, Tucker, yeah, he's my guy. He's speaking for me. And behind the scenes, he's saying that. How does that make you feel? This is crazy, man. It is crazy. You can't trust CNN, MSNBC. You can't trust Fox. They all bullshit. And it's so annoying because there's people out there that are just living their lives, man. There's people out here that are just living their lives. They're paying their taxes. They're paying their bills. And they just want to turn on the TV and they want to trust that these people have their best interest at heart. That they're just like, well, let me find out. Yeah, I'm more conservative, so let me watch Fox and see what's going on. And then they're spewing all this stuff that they don't even believe. They don't even believe it. And you're sitting at home being like, yeah. And he's texting his colleagues like, this dude is demonic. Those are his words about Trump. Demonic. Man, if you're a Trump supporter, you should feel betrayed. And you should really wake up and be like, whoa, now I got to find my news. Now check this out. We can't even trust the news sources. Where do we get our news now? Where do we get it? You would like to think you turn on the news, they're telling us what's happening, and we can go, oh, okay, now let me make a judgment on my own. They were pushing an agenda. They were pushing a feeling, and it is wrong. And it sucks that, like, these two men, for instance, were put in this situation. More so Tucker Carlson than Don Lemon. Don Lemon just was, he was saying, he was feeling himself. Saying stuff with no context, with no nuance, with no follow-up discussion. Get out of here with that bullshit. But Tucker Carlson, man, and now he's the scapegoat, you know? He's a scapegoat. Now he's just out here like Fox is like, yeah, well, we let him go. He's the cause of, he shouldn't have said those things, and now we're going to move on with business? Nah, man. I find a problem with that. You know what I mean? I got a problem with that. I'm not a fan of some of the things he talks about, but I am a believer that he should be able to talk about it, and then we have an honest discourse about it afterwards. Like that's why I think that it would be great for them to start a podcast or see Tucker with someone else who's like has an opposing opinion, and I would love to see them discuss it as opposed to pushing an agenda. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'm telling you right now, I want to hear from you. I know there's Trump supporters that watch me because you guys hit me up sometimes with your spewing your hatred as opposed to just having a discussion. How do you feel now? How do you feel that the dude with the highest ratings on the network that's pushing an agenda, how he really feels? Man, come on, y'all. Let me read this again. Okay? This is his own words. Trump has 2 weeks left. Once he's out, he becomes incalculably less powerful, even in the minds of his supporters. He's a demonic force, a destroyer, but he's not going to destroy us. I've been thinking about this every day for 4 years. Let that sink in. Conservative people, Fox News people that watch it, people that support Trump, let that sink in, that your talking head, your voice, they were playing his news broadcast in Russia because they felt it was supporting them. That's how the dude really feels. How does that make you feel? Wow. Anyways. I want to drop my mic and be done with this. That's crazy. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. All right? We're done with that. You know? We're done with that. I got to get Tucker on Riffin with Griffin. Wouldn't that be dope? Anyways, guys. All right, let's get to one of my favorite things to do is there's some Instagram stories. Let's go to this one first. Let's see. So here's an Instagram story that I thought was crazy. Let me see if can we see it like this? Yeah. Oh man. See, I have it set for like playing the videos, but I guess I could do it like this. Here we go. News and notes and things. All right. So Rachel even showed me this. Double toilet for lovers that love to do everything together. No, thank you. Okay? Get out of here with this. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine taking a shit with your wife or girlfriend? Like, what? Like this, yeah. I love Rachel. And I'm always furious when she goes to the bathroom and leaves the door open. I don't care what she's doing in there. If you sitting down, the door should be closed. That's between you and your Lord. Okay? Close the door. I would not want to sit next to her because first of all, even if somebody said in the comments this is fake. I mean, like, because I know how Rachel she would be all like, oh my God, this is so adorable. Hold my hand. Like it's like she wants me to make everything she does Disney princess. Even taking a stinky dump, I would have to be like, oh baby, you're so cute over there, stinking up the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to do this? Like, people are bananas, man. You know what I mean? Like, I have a thing. I don't know about you, but it took me a long time before I even like I didn't even want to go to the bathroom. Like, you know, when you're a couple, a guy, you know, you walk to the bathroom, you just pull your thing, you pull your junk out, you just go to them, you just pee. It took me a while before I was comfortable in doing that, you know? But I guess that's about my own insecurities about myself, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. It's like, you know, she's my wife, you know, so it's like even before we were just dating, how long before I was like comfortable with my chubby body? But I'm older, so I was like, if somebody's into you, they're into you. So I didn't even think about it anymore. So you have confidence and you just do it. But then there just gets to a point where you're like, okay, so when is it okay? You just pull it out and just be. And now I don't care. You know what I mean? But I'm not at the point. I'm not at the point where I'm in there taking a poop with the door open. I ain't there yet. It's like sitting on the toilet and actually pooping. You're like, okay, can somebody see you? But when it's time for cleanup, I need to clean up on my own. I need to clean up with the door closed. You ain't watching me clean up. So I would not want to sit next to my wife during some cleanup. That's crazy. So that was a crazy story. All right, let's see. What else we got here? All All right, there were some other ones. I'm going to go to them. This is from my Instagram. If you have crazy stories on Instagram, you can send them to me too. All right. All right. This is one I actually. Wait, let's see here. Can we hear this? Why can't we hear it? I want you to hear this crazy. Oh, here we go. All right. I want you guys to hear this. All right. So this is a heated debate on trans women in sports. So this is a big thing that's going on right now. A big thing going on right now is that Congress is trying to pass a bill about trans athletes playing, especially and basically it's about biological men becoming women and playing in women's sports, and now just demolishing the playing field. Okay. It's really about that. You never hear about it in reverse because, just physically, men are faster, stronger for the most part. Just the way men are physically built, they're going to be bigger, stronger than women. So and if there's some woman who's strong enough and fat, it would be unprecedented, right? So it's like you don't hear about that too. So for the most part, for the majority of it, that's the thing. So there was this like heated debate, and I want to show you guys this, and then we can talk about it. Okay. The nuance of this, all right?
Trans women are women.
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete.
Oh, Jesus.
So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball. So when it comes to athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces. I think as female athletes, we work so incredibly hard for the little opportunity there is in women's sports.
Would this be a barrier for you?
There's no barrier. There's less opportunity in some industries.
That's what a barrier is.
There's less. It's not. No. It's
That's
based
what
on the
friction
market.
means.
Okay.
Hold on, guys.
Okay. The problem is we can't compete. We can't. I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6 foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's gonna body me.
And what happens if I go up against you?
Even
Even
if I have years more of training. And so it's like you're taking away the little opportunity that we're given and we all work so hard for. It will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on, Mindy.
Sorry,
Eli.
confidence can't make me bench what a guy benches.
I don't
Confidence can't
understand
make
why you
me
guys
6'7".
are so hostile. She's sharing her
And confidence
experience
can't make
in
me
a
6'7".
specific
No, she's
field.
sharing. And I'd have to go.
No, she's not. She's a woman who's had an
it's also-
experience.
it's al- it's
One at a
also-
time.
You guys
We
are
let
so
Pearl
obsessed with your
finish.
own experiences and your own existence, and yet when a woman is sitting here telling you, I feel as though this is unfair and this is compromising and this situation is not helping women, you guys are like, meh, meh, meh. But when you're like, I'm a black person that did this, and this, then it's valid and fair and viable.
Trans women are women.
Ooh, man. What a discussion. Man. I see, we need more of this. On this particular subject, man. And again, it's a nuanced discussion. So you have this. So I don't appreciate how they were attacking this woman who is trying to just say, this is my truth. This is my experience. I feel like I'm going up against people who have a great advantage against me. If you look at Leah Thomas, okay, Leah Thomas, who was a guy, biological man, swimmer, going up against men, getting destroyed. Not good, okay? Becomes a woman, or whatever the proper terminology is for all the people out there that support the community. I'm not trying to be transphobic or whatever, but you have to watch your words because they'll make anything you say transphobic. Even me just talking about this, they're going to be like, this is problematic. This is problematic. When they do that, it's like, go fuck yourself, okay? I'm not. You just, then if that's what you think, then get out of here. But anyways, then this guy reveals himself and it's like, now I'm a woman. And it competes against women, and they can't compete. Just the common sense of this. Why can't we just have a discussion about, all right, maybe there should be a different category, or maybe there should be some sort of algorithm like they do with golf. I've talked about this before, and I'm just going to talk about it again. When you're on a golf course, they have a men's tee and they have a woman's tee. Maybe you think that's fair. Maybe you think it's not fair. But they're basically saying, all right, the women shoot from here, the men shoot from there. And when they compete against each other, That's how somehow they're leveling the playing field. It's like spotting somebody, some seconds. You know, it's like when you're racing against your little brother. You go, okay, I'm gonna give you a 5-second head start. That's leveling the playing field. Find some way. But the woman's saying, like in basketball, I don't have a chance. Let's just be like, even Trump in his craziness made a joke about it. He was like, yeah, I would want to coach a women's basketball team, and I would ask LeBron James to become a woman, and then I'd have the greatest basketball team ever. Yeah. Like, think about that. You see, what if there is an NBA player who is trans? What if Zion Williams is like, you know what? I'm a woman. And Zion Williams goes to the NBA. What are you going to say then? What are you going to say? What are you going to look at this and make this whole thing about trans women are women? Okay, that's a feeling, okay? That's like, all right, we're saying you want to live your life this way. Just because you want to live your life this way doesn't mean that now the rest of us have to be like, well, okay, but, this person was this. When we go into the laboratory and look at the body structure and bone structure and muscle configuration, this person has an advantage. It's like, why can't we just have a common sense discussion like that without it turning into a thing where, we think we're hating on these people? No, we're just kind of saying like, yeah, we want you to live your truth. But just because you live in your truth don't mean you get to play sports. Like I said this before, Leah Thomas should just go down to the YMCA and swim. You want to swim? Go down to the YMCA. We ain't stopping you from swimming. But when you're competing against biological women who don't have the same advantage of you, I think it's okay to have a pause and go, hey, let's figure this out. This is new. This is a new thing. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Instead of like these people yelling at each other. And then the one woman made a terrific point. As a mixed race person, okay, as a black person, whatever my percentage, you know what I mean? That's a fair point the lady's making. Because if it was a black person sitting there talking about like the advantages that we don't have and they've been taken away because of racism or whatever like that, everybody would have to listen and be like, well, we got to do something about this. But when a woman, like, where are the people fighting for the rights of women? It's crazy. Like, when you hear these stories, you hear these stories about locker rooms now. Like, there's women in locker rooms, right? They're in their locker room. And then they look up and there's like a dick in the locker room, okay? They're just like, oh, my God, this person has a dick. And then the person's like, calm down, I'm a woman, And then they're like, okay, but they've been taught their whole life to be afraid of dicks. Okay, you know what I mean? You're in the locker room chilling, and then you're not used to this, and you're just like, okay, well, you have a dick. And then, so now, as a society, now we have to just be okay with this, Because if you're not okay with it, it means you're hateful. That's what they'll tell you, right? You know what's crazy, though? Is you don't, maybe there are these stories, but they're never publicized. You never hear about the 120-pound biological woman with her butt-ass naked in the men's locker room, walking around with her vagina and breasts, telling all these naked men like, hey, guys, I'm a man. So everybody chill out. I wonder why you don't hear about that a lot. You know what I mean? Why don't you hear about that? You never hear about you never hear about them in, walking in the men's locker room butt-ass naked like, hey, what's up, guys? Because maybe they wouldn't feel safe. Maybe that man would be like, oh, okay. Because maybe they're going to, you can tell me what you are, but these naked men in this locker room, what do they see? They see titties and a vagina. Now, I'm not saying that gives anybody carte blanche to do whatever they want, but there's an issue. You would be like, oh, let me not be in this. Would you want to be alone? If you were a 130-pound man with a vagina and would you want to be alone in the steam room with some dude you don't know? You never hear about that. You know what I mean? Because they would be like, no, I wouldn't feel safe. So why is it then women in locker rooms, they feeling the same thing. They don't know this person. They just see a dick. And they're like, you have a dick. So, whoa, can I take a beat and see how I feel about this? It's so crazy where we're at with this right now, that we can't have common sense, compassionate for both sides, nuanced discussion so we can coexist and have some understanding together. Right now, it has to be so polarizing, one side, other side, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyways, y'all, wow, that was like a quick ass hour. You know what I mean? Daddy was into it today. I just, if you have any comments, again, I really appreciate. I'd love to see comments this week about your thoughts, especially from my conservative Riffin with Griffin fans. And even the other ones too, just how we all should start feeling now about the news. Like, where should we get our news? And how do you feel when, hearing this guy that, was your voice sort of just secretly not really agreeing with you? Maybe you think he's a patriot because he was like, this is what's best for the country. So even if I don't feel this way, I'm going to do it. But I don't know. I don't know how that makes you feel. I'm just telling you I would feel some kind of way about that. All right. Once again, I want to thank you for watching Riffin with Griffin. Guys, make sure you sub. I'm here every Wednesday. Sometime on Wednesday between 10 and 1, I'm going to try to get on live. I'm going to try to make it more consistent. I'm on Twitch most days. Come check me out. Patreon. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. You know what I mean? Thanks for all the support. And I appreciate everybody that comes and enjoys the podcast. You know what I mean? So, wait, what's going on with this? Where's my main titles? Oh, there they are. Anyways, so you know what time it is, y'all. Yeah, it's that rap recap. Rap recap. Woo! Pop, 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 pop. Today on the show, sorry. You know how we go. Man, John Lemon. He's a lemon. That's all I got for that. Woo! Tucker. Turned out a motherfucker. Like a rucker. Out at Rucker Park. You verse him. You don't know what's in him. He didn't like Trump. Thought that fool was a dump. Woo! Let's stick up for women so they can get back to winning. The NBA. Woo! I hope my Clippers go all the way, but they lost. There's no boss. What cost? Yeah, here on Riffin with Griffin, and I see you next week.